hear what you're thinking, all your doubts and fear. And if you look in my eyes in time, you'll find the reason I'm here. And in time.
Hey Dwellers, to stay up to date on all the latest news, reviews, openings and of course weekly programming, just click on the little guy here in the corner to subscribe and you'll get notifications when the newest content lands. Please enjoy the video. Hello Dwellers and welcome to another episode of Looking Back, and today we're going to be looking at a game that dropped in 2005 on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox as the original Xbox, based on a Marvel Comics favourite for a lot of fans, and also including myself. Of course, I'm talking about The Punisher. Now, when The Punisher came out, it was a very simple aspect. You had the storyline of The Punisher hunting down Jigsaw, but what made this game unique was, aside from the fantastic barging through with a load of guns and blowing everybody away like you'd expect, basically the game had an engine system in it as well that allowed you to grab enemies and you could either throw them, execute them, or interrogate them. They took this further with the interrogations by having environmental interrogations. Now, this was one of the key things that pulled people to this game. As a third-person shooter, you got to take in the environment around you, but being able to use it was your greatest advantage. For example, you could do things like hold somebody underneath a window and then slam the window down their head repeatedly until they told you what you wanted to know. Or you could hold a drill over somebody's head and threaten to drill a hole in their head. You could do things like hold them over a vat of molten metal and threaten to push their head into it. You could threaten them on the zoo level with a rhino that charged at the cage and you pull them away at the last second so the rhino couldn't gore them. The choices were endless, and basically the amount of things you could do on this game really made it a good, simple game to play that had a lot of variety. And of course, afterwards, or instead of the interrogation if you wanted to, you could just finish them off anyway. Didn't like the way the guy answering you, smash his head in with a window pane, ram the drill through his head, hold him there and let the rhino gore him. Was said with the folded metal, push his head in there with the stick, let the metal wrap around his head and suffocate him. The options are always there for you, and of course thrown in with a hell of a lot of weaponry and tools like crowbars, bats, bunts, knives that you could use against enemies. This was a good game that you could just jump on and smash through. Now, for its time, it had good graphics, very clear, but basically the game's only limitation was you could go through this game quite fast if you wanted to, which was a lot of complaints that people had. But I said, with the variety of the gameplay, it was a game that you could come back time and time and time again. So as a game that's looking back on it, it would be a bit slow in parts, but I would say now I personally could still happily go back and play this game. And I think for somebody that wanted a simple game they could just bash onto, I'm sure there's versions of this you can get on emulators. I believe you can actually download it onto the PlayStation. I'm not 100% about if you'd be able to get it on backwards compatibility with the Xbox One, because that's focused mainly onto the 360s instead. But if you do ever get a chance to have a go on this as an emulator, I would suggest it. It's a good laugh and you're only limited by your imagination a lot of the time on it. So that was The Punisher. So it came out, supposed to be 2004, but there was a pause, so it ended up coming out 2005, and that was because of something that was happening within THQ. But like I said, for its time, great game. You can pick up a copy of it now for about £5 online if you looked around. Some shops that still store the old PlayStation 2 games, you could probably pick it up for about £2-3 from those. If you ever get a chance to, I'd say do so. But anyway, that was looking back at The Punisher, PlayStation 2, Xbox, PC, and basically next week on looking back, we will be looking back at a Bethesda classic, Fallout 3. So, don't see you before then. I'll see you out there, and thanks for watching. And as always, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Also, if you want to stay up to date as well, another way is you can catch me on Facebook. The address just there on the screen. And of course, for more videos, you just look to your left there. You can see that'll be one of the latest videos that's landed. And to the right here is a video picked by YouTube just for you. And of course, hit the guy in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the latest content.